All right, so I figured I'd do another walk and explain some stuff. Sorry, it's pretty hot out. Apparently a lot of people think that I'm out to like prove or disprove stuff on my channel. You know, when it comes to the weird stuff that I've been collecting data for. And if that's what you think, this probably isn't the channel for you, because I'm not out to prove or disprove anything. My job as an actual biologist is to come in, use the scientific method, and then look at the data. And first, you know, Richard Feynman said it best. There's a video on YouTube. You start off with a guess. And all his students laughed, and he said, don't laugh. He said, science starts off with a guess. I think this is, he said, you know, like a question. You know, I think the sky's blue. Okay, well then where do you go from there? Well, how do we prove or disprove the sky's blue? And then it could turn into, well, actually to me it looks blue, but it's not really blue. So how do you, you know, your question can change over time, is the point. But as far as like proving thing to anyone, I'm not doing that here. You can believe what you want to believe. That's perfectly fine. But I'm not out here to prove anything. I'm out here to present the data and the evidence that I have, and what you do with that is up to you. But anyone that's looking to get into this, I'll be completely honest with you. If you're getting into it to prove anything to anyone, don't. You're wasting your time. People are gonna believe what they want to believe. You know, believers will believe, and skeptics will stay skeptical. That's just how it is. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like skeptics. They're good. Look, I'm still partially skeptical after the stuff that I've been through and I've seen. That's good. You need a healthy dose of skepticism. But you shouldn't be to the point where it's, I know. Nobody knows everything. I mean, that's life. And anyone that tells you they know, you know, like, what's this, it's that, just disregard them. Because nobody knows this stuff. Sorry, it's a little soggy out. So hopefully if you're all in West Virginia or Ohio, you're safe, because right now we got bad flooding, and I'm going to put this up today after I do it. Yeah, I mean, and I realize too that a lot of people apparently don't understand the scientific method. So I guess we're going to have to cover that. And what I'm going to do is I'll do a community post. So if you're watching this, there's going to be a community post that'll link to a video. It's funny because it's for kids, but everyone will be able to understand it as to what we're doing, using the scientific method and how that works. And if the scientific method isn't for you, this isn't the channel then. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't believe in like the mind speak and all the other crazy stuff that people do. It's no offense to anyone. I don't believe any of that, but that's the science background. You know, it's one of those things, like I said, I'm open to stuff until I'm not. And even if the crazier stuff was real, you can't prove that with science, so it doesn't matter. It shouldn't even be in the conversation. Unless it's something that you'd be able to prove through science, just leave it out of the conversation, because it's going to be pointless. People will still argue with you. The skeptics will still argue with you. And in science, it is on you to prove stuff. In other words, if I think the sky is blue, then I have to show why the sky is blue. I can't just go, well, the sky's, you know, blue or whatever. I have to have data, and I have to have some kind of experiments and stuff that shows that it's blue. And they explain why. You know, the old saying, you know, extraordinary claims that require extraordinary evidence is true. And I think we're actually getting that. You know, with the footprints around the world, they have the mid-tarsal breaks. They've got the same ridges, you know, the impact ridges and stuff. They've got the hair that they don't know what the DNA is. It's not ape, it's not human. You know, we can keep going and going. And the fact there's people with PhDs with decades of experience, like Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum and others, that are putting their careers on the line, saying they're relict hominoids because we don't know if they're real, we don't know if they're humans, if they're apes, what they are. So that's why it's a relict, because it's something that looks ancient. Hominoid, because it's human, you know, it's human-like. Like it's, you know, like us. It's got, stands upright, it's got 2 arms, 2 legs. But yeah, I just want to do this short video because apparently a lot of people that I've been talking to now they have the wrong idea about what this is. And they had said, you know, about like tree structures and stuff. I did find some stuff, and I mentioned that in my overview video. We're gonna look at that. But you have to understand there's so much stuff. I'm not even done going through March for audio. Because, you know, when I do this, I run it from 9 at night to 6 in the morning. Well, that's 9 hours of audio each time that has to be gone through. And I do not believe these people. See, the problem is they're like, well, I can just go through it, you know, in just a couple hours. No, you can't. They'll be like, well, I use a spectrograph. Oh, really? Cool. So you know exactly what the spectrograph, you know, of a possible Sasquatch looks like or sounds like. You know, something that evidently isn't even described in science yet. But you figured it all out. You know? So I don't know how you could do that objectively and then say, oh yes, you just have to look for these. Now, if it's a species of like bird or something, yeah, you can do that because we have a bunch of spectrographs for things and we know what those look like. Point is, you can't rush through this. It's going to take a long time to do it properly and thoroughly. And you should always get outside opinions. Because no matter what, myself included, there's going to be bias to it. That's just how it is. We're all human. But I think that's enough ranting for now. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you later.